Welcome back. Things are pretty quiet for the SGX Nifty today. So let's see what the market makes of all these global developments. Today is an important day for earnings as well. So that may likely keep things quite active. For now, it's flattened out even more. So 9 points up on the SGX. Ambarish Palika joins in to talk about all of that. Ambarish, morning, hectic day of trading yesterday.
Good morning.
How do you expect the markets to move over the next couple of sessions? Is it likely headed lower or will it stabilize here, you think?
No, I don't think there's any question whether it'll head lower or head higher. I think most of the consensus on the street is that it'll head lower. I think Nifty is doing the catch-up with the rest of the market, which has been down for quite a while. It's only a question as to how sharp that downward movement would be, whether it would be fast or whether it would be a slow, painful one. That question is difficult to answer, but I think, at least in the short term, we clearly see the markets moving more towards 5500, 5550.
Vinod, you would still back the strength in telecom?
I think telecom, because calls have been, positions have been built across in all the companies. My sense is you'll have to continue to go long. This is a market which is giving you opportunities, and they are in very small number of sectors. So telecom continues to be one. Among that, I think I like Idea the most, and you can look at buying the 170 call, which was available at around 8, put a stop loss at 6, and hope to sell this at 12. And this target can obviously be raised as the stock progresses.
Ambarish, how would you guys approach these stocks now, and what's the top buy from there?
In fact, Bharti, the results were slightly better than what we were expecting, but we still see that margin pressure going ahead. We still see the African operations being a drain on the group overall. So I think with the way it's moved, yesterday, I think it's a good opportunity for people to exit to a certain extent, because we don't see too much more of an upside from here.
What's the experience been for people holding positions in the mid caps or the broader market, Ambarish? Have you seen a lot of redemption pressures or selling pressure? Have you seen some margin issues cropping up these last few days?
Margin issues really haven't been there much in the last few days because people were butchered much earlier. So in fact the participation is quite low. So when the participation is low, you really don't have too much margin pressure. I think people have actually given up on the markets, especially the mid cap space, and there is clearly, I think, that trust deficit is there, and for that to return, I think it'll be I think it'll take quite a while, and possibly the next bull run may not really have the same set of stocks, the same set of mid cap stocks. So I think clearly people are just waiting and watching and not really investing right now.
How are people reading this NSCL issue though, Ambarish, and is there some nervousness about other exchanges as well facing a cash crunch of sorts?
I think this would be specific to this particular exchange, and there have been murmurs in the past, so people have been reducing positions, and I don't think this can really be repeated on the other exchanges because they are much stronger.
Vinod, what happened finally with those oil and gas stocks? One day down 9%, then a sharp rebound on them. What kind of position build-up did you see in your market on those phases?
I think you've seen positions build across in all those stocks, but these are the stocks, mind you, which actually will sell on news. And the news yesterday was that the price will be hiked, and they've been hiked. So I think they continue to be a sell and rallies. And even in this market, while the oil ministry says IOC, it is not the proper time for IOC to come out with the OFS, I think one of the EGOM is further looking at it. So our sense is that this continues to be a sector where you still can't convincingly build positions. I think, and if you hold these stocks, I think writing higher calls may be a good idea.
Are you also seeing a short build-up on those FMCG phases, Vinod, Lever and ITC?
I think some shorts have been seen. But when I was looking at the top 10 stocks in the where the open interest position is, I think you have only 2 banks and 3 FMCG stocks. So my sense is that this large number of positions in the FMCG stocks need not be construed as that the short positions will continue for long. I think part of them are still people who are writing puts at lower levels. So I would not be a seller in these stocks, although the data would indicate. So I wouldn't sell these stocks. In fact, if they were to fall further lower down the line, I'll probably put both ITC and Hindustan Unilever to write puts.
Ambarish, how do you approach some of these smaller consumer-based stories like a VIP, etc.? Would you buy these stocks or too risky?
I think at this moment, most of these stocks are risky. I mean, I would even extend that to FMCG space like ITC and HUL, where I mean, they seem quite expensive at this point of time because even going ahead with the way the economy is going and the sort of, low confidence in the market, clearly the discretionary spends are going to come down, and it's basically on discretionary spends that the margins are much higher. So, I mean, there's no reason for people to actually hold on at these levels when these stocks are, valuation wise, they're very expensive, and that's the only space where you're at least making some money. So I think it's best to at least book out to a certain extent and stay out for a while.
Okay, it's time for a break. When we come back, the pre-open this morning. More importantly, let's see what the currency market does for itself.
MCX Stock Exchange, India's new stock exchange, presents Bazaar Open Exchange.
In association with Renault Pulse, life needs a pulse. And still doing business the old way? Switch to TradeIndia.com, business search engine.
Welcome back. Just a few seconds to go for the pre-opening today, which should be flattish, but maybe with a positive bias because that's what we are seeing across the rest of Asia. So in about 5 or 7 seconds, we'll see where stocks open up. There will be some result reactions as well, and there are some important results to watch today too. But here come the first pre-opening rates. 2 points up for the moment, 80 points up. That seems a lot. Sensex is up about 3 odd points. So an opening in the green, continuing from the pullback that we saw yesterday. There are some very big rates on the banks. They have really taken it on the chin these last few weeks. But today, some big rates in PNB, Bank of Baroda, ICICI Bank and HDFC Bank. So there could be some short covering in the Bank Nifty if the pre-opening rates are to be believed, but certainly not to the extent that we are seeing. It is the banks which are leading most of the pullback. JP Associates, surprise, is up 10% in the pre-opening. That too seems like a very large move, short covering notwithstanding. And names like L&T, DLF, BHEL, even ITC, which has not had a very good run these last few days, seem like they could start up in the green. So that's your winning list for the morning, and some of these rates of course will cool down, and therefore the Nifty too will probably not be able to hold a 50-point gain as it is showing this morning. How's the rupee opening, Mithali?
60.80 on first count to the end, so let's see where that one goes. But the opening is a bit weaker for the currency this morning. Remember, it closed at about 60.40 yesterday. The problem also with the currency is that within the first 15-20 minutes you see immense volatility, so let's just wait for it to settle down a little bit. But the first tick seems disappointing, and the rupee has lost some ground for itself, now trading at about 60.78. There's not a lot on the losing side in trade today. However, there seems to be a rather weak rate on Dr. Reddy's. That's down about 3% or so. There is some weakness on a few other faces like JSPL, etc. Lever and ITC have steadily been grinding down, so it's not a manic move, but it is a steady 2% kind of drip off that you're seeing every day. This morning they are flattish to just holding out for themselves. And watch out for some of these auto companies, monthly sales numbers coming through from them, not likely to be inspiring this month round either. There is some weakness on a few other heavyweights including TCS and Reliance, so just watch that space. I hope there's no heavyweight problem for the market. Otherwise, the index is actually holding up for itself, but the names are those classic pullback names for the market in terms of the ones that have recovered today, Udayan.
Yeah, Punjab National Bank and Tata Steel will not lead any great up move in the market, Mithali. They cannot. I mean, they are dead cats who are bouncing around a little bit, and that you would give them because they've fallen so relentlessly. I mean, who would have thought that Tata Steel would come down to 200 kind of levels quite so quickly? I mean, some of the falls in the public sector banks are astonishing, the way they have collapsed. So, you know, after such a relentless fall, you'll get a 7-8% kind of a pullback, and that's par for the course. But you're right in pointing out that these dogs will not lead the Sensex or Nifty any place special. The problem is that the big stocks, the ones that you mentioned, the HULs and ITCs, have generally started giving up ground. ITC is the largest weightage in the index, by the way. So the fact that that's come off from 370 to 340 has caused some anguish to the index. Levers corrected very quietly from 720 odd to 610. So that's been a meaningful 110 rupee fall, nearly 15%. And I think it's good for more, but whether it pauses once around the 600 level to soak in some buying is a different matter. The cleaner bets, I think, which are still supporting the market are IT and to a limited extent telecom. Telecom doesn't have a very large weightage in the index, but I think the conviction on that space is growing. Oil and gas has lost its way. Reliance is still floating around 900, but ONGC's fall to 270 kind of levels has stung the market and the oil marketing companies. So now it's no longer oil and gas, it's a one-trick pony in that space, which is still holding on to some of its gains. But otherwise, I think it's IT and telecom, which are still sort of keeping the index afloat for now, but the pressure points are clearly increasing.
The conviction is almost smacking of desperation though. Then, I mean, we talked about IT yesterday. I don't know why Wipro should be up 14% in the last 3 days, and telecom as well. Yesterday was almost like, oh, there's good news. Okay, buy the stock, you know, buy the sector, buy it all.
Well, you know, for the India money which cannot desert this market,